Welcome to your free trial in Astro Loyalty. In this video, we will go over some of the basics to help you get started on Astro. We'll start with account setup and adding employee users, then how to enroll in programs, followed by how to add a customer and check them out. Then we can go over fulfillment and how to access the help desk if you find you're having trouble. And finally, we can go over how to activate your full account. Let's begin with account setup. First, let's go to our Actions menu and scroll down to Account Management. From here, you can enter in your location information, your business hours, your phone number, and your website. To do so, just select the pencil, edit your information, and then select Save. Over here, you can enter your logo. Your logo will appear on your My Astro webpage, any custom programs we make for you, as well as any mass emails that you send to your customers. To add your logo, simply click on the pencil and follow the prompts. Here's where you can add additional employee users to your account. As you can see, you are already listed as a user and you are automatically designated as an administrator since you need full access to all of Astro. To add additional users, you can select this little man icon here. There are two different user types, cashier or administrator. The cashiers have limited access to Astro, and they can only add customers, check out customers, and access the kiosk. If you have multiple registers in your store, you can select the number here. This will make it so that each cashier can use the same username and password to log into their respective registers. Upon doing so, they can select 1, 2, 3, etc. to reflect the register they're logging in at. In this section here, you're going to enter the cashier's username or email address. If you enter an email address in this field, make sure that it's an email account that your cashiers can access at the store, since this is the email address that we will be using to contact them through support. If you would rather all support correspondence be sent to you, you can select your email address from this field here. If you want to restrict your cashiers so that they could only log in to Astro when they're physically standing in your store, you can add your IP address to this field here. This will make it so that no one can log into Astro remotely, either from their home or some other location. Once you have entered in all your appropriate fields, you can save changes and your user will be added. If you are registered as a multi-location in Astro, upon activating your full account, we'll be able to add your additional locations here. Upon doing so, we'll create links so that you can click them to access each additional location separately. Upon doing so, you'll be able to add location information, a location-specific logo, and the users for that particular location. Once you have your account set up to your liking, you can go ahead and start enrolling in frequent buyer programs. To do so, select Frequent Buyer from your top toolbar and then select Available Astro Frequent Buyer. This will show you a full list of all programs currently available to all members on Astro at this point. Most of these programs will report automatically to the distributor you choose upon enrolling. To narrow this long list, you can do so by using these filter menus up top. You can filter them down according to manufacturer, according to category, according to pet type, and according to fulfillment option. Some programs are retailer fulfilled, meaning they are set up so that they generate reports automatically, but those reports aren't automatically submitted to distribution. Instead, you'll need to export these reports and email them to the appropriate parties. To narrow your search, we're going to use the manufacturer drop-down menu. We're going to choose the manufacturer. And now that we've found the program we're looking for, we're going to select the title. Once inside, you'll be able to review the full program description along with the terms and conditions and the program cards. If you need to export a product list to see the items included in this program, you can do so here. If you need a barcode list, here's a PDF that you can export as well. If you're curious to see more about this product line, you can access their website from here. Once you're ready to enroll, you can select the Enroll button, and now you'll be able to choose your distributor. Make sure to choose the correct distributor, since this will ensure that your reports are sent to the appropriate party. If you are unsure as to who your distributor is, you can go ahead and select Temporary Holding Distributor. We use this as a placeholder so that you can start using the program now until you can determine who you need to report to. Once you have chosen your appropriate distributor, you can enter your account information here. This account number will help your distributor find you quickly and issue your credits in a more frequent manner. If you are unsure as to what your account number is, leave this field blank for now, and you can add your correct number later. Once you have filled in everything accordingly, you can select I agree. Now this program will show up under your enrolled list. To enroll in more frequent buyer programs, you can select Available Astro Frequent Buyer again and select another program. We're going to choose one more and enroll. Now if you notice, I'm going to select the same distributor that I did for the program prior, and if you see, it's going to automatically populate the account number that I entered before for this program. So you're not going to have to enter this number in repeatedly. Agree? And this program joins the other under your enrolled list. Now that you're enrolled in some frequent buyer programs, you can go ahead and start checking out customers. To do so, you're going to select Checkout from your top toolbar. Now here, since we already added a fake customer for you, Sally Pet Owner, you can start looking her up. You can look her up either by typing in her name or her email address, as you would for any other customer. Once you find your customer, select them. Now that we are under your customer's checkout screen, we can start adding items to their frequent buyer cards. There are several ways that you can do this. For one, if you have a scanner, set your scanner keystroke capture to on. This will allow you to scan items without having to place your cursor into a field. You can also start typing in the name of the items into your search bar and hit enter. Astro will go through and it'll find all items that include what you typed in their product descriptions. So once you find the item that you're looking for, you can select it and it'll add it to the program card. If you need to, you can turn the scanner keystroke capture off and create a search field where you can paste information into it. You can also use these filter menus to add items to programs. In the first one, you're going to select the Frequent Buyer Program. In the second, you're going to select the Frequent Buyer Program card. And in the final one, you're going to select the item. And then you're going to hit the button to add it. Alright, and then over here, you can also use these plus signs to add duplicates of the same item to the Frequent Buyer card. And finally, you can click on the card itself, the next available open slot, to add an item that qualifies for that program card. All the purchases that you add during that day will show up under today's purchases. If you make any mistakes, you can easily remove the item from this area. If you need to, you can also remove the item from the card by selecting it. Once your today's purchases match what your customer is purchasing this day, you can select Checkout. From this screen, you can review and make sure that everything has been entered appropriately. If you need to make any changes to this transaction, you can select Return to Checkout from here. Otherwise, you can go ahead and select Finish to seal in this transaction. This will bring you back to the Look Up Customer screen where you can go ahead and look up your next customer. If If a new customer comes into your store, you can add them to your Astro account by selecting Add Customer from the top toolbar. Here you can enter their first and last name, their mobile phone number, and their email in the appropriate fields. The first and last name are mandatory, but mobile phone and email are optional. The phone number can be used as a unique identifier, which will help you look up your customers faster in the system. Think of it as a customer UPC. The pet owner email is useful in a number of ways. It can be used as a unique identifier to look them up in your system. It will add them to your mass email list so you can send them notifications about sales and promotions in your store. It'll also give them a login username so they can use the mobile app to follow along with their transactions. If they decide that they want to use the mobile app, you can enter their email address here, and then upon saving them, you can select Save and Send Pet Owner Welcome. This email will look something like this. They'll have links where they can download the mobile app. There's a link here where they can verify their participation in your program. Doing so will add them to your mailing list. Alright, so once you have saved your customer accordingly, you can select Save Pet Owner. Here you'll be able to enter your customer's mailing address and their pet information. The mailing address is only required if they're participating in a frequent buyer program that requires it upon redemption. If you do not enter it at this point and you end up needing it later, you will be prompted at the time of redemption to enter it. Adding pet type is purely optional, but this information will be added to your mass email system so that you'll be able to contact them with promotions about their pet. Once you have finished, you can select Finished from here. Upon saving your new customer to the system, you'll be taken immediately to their checkout screen where you can start adding purchases to their frequent buyer cards. Now remember, any customer that you add to Astro during your free trial is going to be considered a real customer account. Any items that you add to their frequent buyer cards are going to be recorded as real transactions. Any frequent buyer cards that you redeem under their account are going to be considered real, and they will report to your distributor upon completion. Okay, so now we can start adding items to this customer's frequent buyer cards using one of the methods that I mentioned earlier. Once all items have been added, we can select Checkout. Once everything is confirmed as correct, we can select Finished. Now we're going to go over what it looks like to redeem a frequent buyer card for a customer. Now make sure, if you're practicing this, to only do this under Sally Pet Owner. She is the only customer in your system that is not real. Any other customer that you create, if a card is redeemed under their account, it will be reported to your distributor. Okay, so we're going to look up Sally. And I already went ahead and added a bunch of items to her today's purchases. I did this to fill up this frequent buyer card. So upon doing so, an alert was created. So at the very top of all of her cards, it'll say Unredeemed Rewards. And then on the card itself, it'll say that she's eligible for one award. So now, to redeem this card, we're going to go up here and we're going to select Checkout. Now, because this program requires a mailing address, you're going to get a pop-up here where you can either add or confirm that her mailing address is accurate. Okay, so confirm information. And now we're going to see a reward redemption pop-up for her program. Now, this program is also a least valued free program. So here it's where it's going to explain this for you. And then next to it, it's going to tell you the item of least value on her card. Now, she can only redeem this card for items lesser than or equal to the value of this item. So if we select this drop-down menu, you're only going to see items that are qualifying for this program. So there's no way to redeem this program incorrectly. Alright, so we're going to select this item here, and then redeem selected item. Now what happens is you're going to see that the item that you just selected for redemption is going to show up under rewards and rewards earned this visit. If you need to change anything, you can select Undo Redemption. Now this will allow you to either A, remove and reselect so you can choose a different item, or you can remove the redeemed item entirely and you can save her frequent buyer card to redeem the next time she comes in. Alright, if you're happy with the way you've redeemed the card, you can then select Finished. And you're all done. Now we're going to go over the Reports and Fulfillment section of Astro. Now every time one of your real customers redeems a frequent buyer card or an offer in Astro, that free item will be automatically added to a batch report under the Report section of your account. Those batch reports will be immediately accessible by your distributor when they log into their accounts in Astro. You can follow along with this process by going to the Report section and then selecting Distributor Free Goods Credit Status. These reports are divided into 3 categories. We have Uncredited, Credited, and Reconciled. The Uncredited section shows all items that have been recently redeemed by your customers. These items are accessible by your distributor and they are still awaiting credit. You can sort these according to distributor, manufacturer, and if you have multiple locations, you can sort according to location. The manufacturers that are reporting to a specific distributor will be listed under that distributor. Once your distributor has batched your report and marked it as fulfilled, it'll show up under Credited Free Goods. Once it arrives in this section, you'll know to expect your credit memo shortly. Your distributor will deliver it to you in the same manner that they did before, whether it's with the driver, via email, or accessible by login to their website. Once you have received your credit memo, you can then take that memo and match it to your report in Astro. The reports will be organized according to month batched, and then once you access your report, you'll see that each report has an Astro Batch ID number. You can also see the date and time that batch report was created, and you'll see the date that it was fulfilled on. Once you have matched your credit memo to your report, you can then open up your report and compare your credit memo to it. Once you are satisfied that you have received the appropriate credit for this report, you can then go back and mark this report as reconciled. Marking a batch as reconciled will keep your report section clean and organized. Upon marking a batch as reconciled, it will then show up under the Reconciled Free Goods section. This section is also organized according to month that the batch was created, and it can also be sorted according to locations if that applies to you. These reports will still be accessible to you if you ever need to go into them and export any information out of them. So remember, the Reconciled section contains all reports that you are confident you've received the appropriate credit for, and they can stay there in storage for years to come. The Credited Free Goods section contains reports that your distributor has marked as credited. You'll still need to match your credit memo to these reports to ensure that you have received the proper credit. And then the Uncredited section contains reports that have not been batched yet by your distributor. Now, if at any point while reviewing your uncredited free goods, you notice that one of your manufacturer programs is reporting to an incorrect distributor, you can change that distributor by going to your frequent buyer menu, selecting your Enroll list, and then finding the program for whose distributor you need to change. Select that program, and then below Program Fulfillment, select the link that accesses the distributors. From here, you can choose a new distributor from your drop-down menu and enter the appropriate account number. Save your selection. So now, all items that were reporting to your previous distributor that have not been batched yet will now report to the new distributor that you just chose for your program. The most important thing to remember during your free trial is that we at Astro are always there for you. If at any point you have any trouble, there's multiple ways that you can get help. For one, you can use this link here to contact an Astro agent. Simply select it and then select your preferred contact method, and then type in your question or comment and submit your request. You can also go here where it says Get Help. This will bring you to the Astro Loyalty Help Desk, where you'll have access to the knowledge base, which contains a number of helpful articles, walkthroughs, and videos that'll help to answer any questions you may have. If you're unable to find an answer to your question, you're welcome to submit a ticket to our support staff. When submitting a ticket to our support staff, please include as much information as possible so that we can better assist you. If your issue is of high priority, please specify in the field below so that we know. If you require a phone call, feel free to request one in the description box, and please include the number that you wish us to call you at and a time that you would like us to call you. Once you have finished filling out your ticket, you can select Submit. Once you submit a ticket to support, it'll show up under My Area, under the Open section. Once we close a ticket, it'll show up under the Close section. If you end up having an additional question concerning a closed ticket, the act of responding to it will reopen it for us. We do encourage you, though, to submit a brand new ticket every time a new question or concern arises. Once you're ready to activate your full account on Astro, you can do so using the header menu. Simply select Activate Full Account, and then select the features that you want from this menu. Now, Astro offers are always free, so they will always remain checked. If you are activating for a Diamond-only program, and you just want to use the Diamond Taste the Wild Frequent Buyer program, please select this button. If you are a standard Astro user and you want to use all frequent buyer programs, make sure that this box is checked. If you also want to include any custom programs that we made for you during your free trial, such as a dog wash program, grooming program, bakery program, etc., make sure that this box is checked as well. If you are going to be including a loyalty points program on Astro, make sure this box is checked. Below, it's going to show you your total monthly amount for each location. If you have a single location, this will be your total monthly payment. If you have multiple locations, let's say 3, you're going to multiply this number by 3 to get your total monthly payment. Over here, you're going to enter your credit card number. And then once everything has been filled out, you're going to select Continue to Confirmation. Now, once your account is activated, your credit card will be charged upon the date of your activation every month. We would like to thank you for taking the time to explore our platform. If at any point you need help or you have a question or a concern regarding Astro, you can contact us through the Help Desk by selecting Get Help and submitting a ticket, or you can select Contact Astro Agent. Also, if at any point you have a manufacturer rep approach you and offer you a special program that is not currently available on Astro, please let us know. We would be more than happy to build it for you. Remember, we're in your corner and we want to help build your business in any way that we can. Thank you so much for choosing Astro, and we hope to be a part of your future. Thank you.